Good morning, morning, morning. It is Monday. My dogs are crazy. I had to shut them out. You can see Diesel sitting there staring at me. They are so crazy this morning. It's like winter has sprung enough that they're about going crazy. Hello, hello. Say hi. I am excited to be here. We're going to go over some things for what to be planning for the week and that are going on, and then we're going to jump into our training for the month of January. We were talking about going back to the basics. So last Monday, like you can see it over there, last Monday we talked about monthly planning and working in 3-month cycles. I shared with you guys links that you can print off the planners I'm talking about and put them in a binder. Super easy to do. I do that for a lot of things. Actually, I'm working on a training course right now, and that's what I do. I typically will print this stuff off and keep it in a binder. So you can very much and easily do that as we are going through this. If you missed last Monday's and we start going through things and you're like, oh my gosh, it's kind of hitting home, I want to get my ducks in a row, go back and watch the last Monday's morning mingle and get caught up with us. So you can print it off, put it in a binder. There is a fillable PDF of this planner. The thing that I don't like about the fillable is it actually, so typically here's your month at a glance. And you can start these at any time, you guys, because they're blank calendars. So I'll show you, because we talked about working in 3-month cycles. So hopefully you have your January, February, and March ready to go. They look like this. So you actually can start at any time, okay? You just put the month. You decide if you want it to go Monday through Sunday, or I like to go Sunday through Saturday. You get to write that in, the dates in, and it's really customizable to how you want to do it. So you can do the fillable planner. Oh, I was telling you why I didn't like the fillable. Some of you guys might. With the fillable, it'll show you this side, and then the next paper's like this, so it's not like a glance. I like to have it in front of me and be able to look at it. We also have plenty of these left. I want to say I probably have 30 of them or 35 of these left. You can get the link for these in the Spark page. You can get the link for these up, I think, in the quick documents too, or just send me a message and I can link you to these. I'm getting these mailed out. Okay, so we are going to pop over and talk about that, but let's go through just a few things that are going on that we need to make sure that we're all up to speed on. Number one I wanted to talk about was feature of the week. So every Sunday, good morning, good morning, good morning. Every Sunday, I pop up a couple graphics of the feature of the week. With the feature of the week, I highly suggest that you go in, if you're not familiar with the product, you go into our asset library and kind of learn a little bit about the product. Ideally, you want to get the product on yourself. They do have some education, short education on it today. Allie usually talks on it. But our featured product of the week is Fancy Plant. So I've been trying to help you see how to take something like Fancy Plants, or like last week we had Kaling It, and I shared what I was doing to educate, talk about, add value, sticking with the product of the week. Okay, so last week I shared with you guys how I took a poll. I did the same thing this week, you guys. Last week was all featured on facial washes. What are they? How do they work? Why would you use them? I was adding value and education. I was helping people solve what they were looking for, okay? Without per se selling. This week, we're moving on in my VIP group and we're talking about serums. I do let them know that not everybody uses serum, but I took a poll asking if they use serums, if they don't use serums, or if maybe they don't use them because they don't understand them, okay? So I take polls. I see what information they'll need to make an educated decision if the feature of the week fits for them, or if there's a different serum that fits for them. And then throughout the week, I will share information such as, why do you use a serum, okay? What type of serum maybe would be best for what you're looking for, okay? How to apply a serum. That could be how with using just like a padding, like to pat it in. It could be the order in which you use it, and when to use it. So those are all things. If you think about, they don't know what they don't know. So if you talk to them about why you use a serum, when you use a serum, how you use a serum, what different serums will do to fit specific needs. That's all you're doing is you're sharing and adding value. And if they find that value adds and they need that product, they're going to buy the product and you didn't sell anything. You just gave them value. So then they trust you as an educated individual that they can come to with questions, that you're willing to share and give information to better help them. Okay, so when you're looking at your feature of the week, and as we start talking about your weekly focus and really breaking that down, start thinking about how you can consistently take either the feature of the week or a theme that you have for the month, the big picture for the month. So my big picture for the month was starting a facial routine. Do you have a facial routine? And if they didn't, we started talking about the basics that they could choose to incorporate. So hopefully you see how that I'm sharing what I'm doing. And when I'm sharing what I'm doing, you can take it, make it your own, and create your own systems, okay? So that's on fancy plants. Some of the things that we have going on this week, we always have our action calendar and our social media calendar. So and these are in quick documents. Here's our action calendar. Here's our social media calendar. Social media calendar is done by Kim, and it is a great way to really get yourself consistent with focusing on the feature of the week. So Kim lays this out as number 1, Monday, review fancy plants. Tomorrow, do an ingredient focus on niacinamide. And you can find that in the asset library. That's a crazy name, right? Wednesday, what is a serum? You can follow this system and pre-plan your posts if you need to, or create your plan for the week, all right? Now, our action calendar is a little different. It will focus on other things that you can be doing in your business, and I want to touch on that a little bit. Morning Mingle, of course, is always Monday at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. So you can put that in your calendar every Monday. For you, if it's a non-negotiable, put it in there, right? 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, figure it out in your time zone and mark it in your calendar. Things that I have this week that you need to kind of pay attention to and highlight is Tuesday evening, second Tuesday of every month. Okay, so if I'm looking at my month in a view, you can write this in every Tuesday, every second Tuesday, not every Tuesday. So in my calendar, second Tuesday of the month right here is my new member Zoom. Okay, so typically I have a partner with this, and it's up in the featured section, and it is a Zoom to welcome new people into our group to help them kind of absorb some of the information at a different pace. Or if people like things more visual, I will walk them through how to find their CID number, how to find their website link. Some of the most common asked questions are the things that I will show and review in the new consultant Zoom. So if you have a newbie, you're coming back and recharging yourself and want to get everything kind of in place again, join me tomorrow night, 7:30 Central Standard Time. Zoom link is put in the featured post of the new consultant Zoom. So that's Tuesday. Now, I also want to highlight that the third Sunday of the month is also our company training. This week in our action calendar, a couple of the things that I had put in our action calendar for Wednesday, the 12th, was take an inventory of your products. What do you have on hand? What do you have that's a current product, a retired product? Do a spreadsheet, write it on a piece of paper, do an inventory of what you have on hand, and start thinking about how will you be turning over your on-hand product, retiring product, exclusive products before the catalog switchover on the 4th. Now, with that action item, Jessica Stonebreaker on the 16th is going to do a training on a live sale. She has found a lot of traction in live sales of turning over inventory that she currently has on hand. Now, what I love about this right now is we are going to be having transition kits. Transition kits are going to go live here before the end of the month. What is a transition kit? A transition kit is a kit that you can purchase as a consultant. Typically, it's in like that $75 to $100 range, okay? Don't know exact prices, but like you can plan on it being $75 to $100. And the transition kit can be purchased now so that you can have it in front of you before our new catalog launch. The announcement of the products is February 4th, and then the products will go live February 5th at 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. So the transition kit is great for you to be able to get samples on people right away, to get samples on people right away, to try the product yourself, to do a live unboxing. There's so many things in your business that you can get traction on with your transition kit. I want you to be successful. So you're taking inventory of what you have right now on hand. If you don't have anything on hand, then you are going to put your focus into having a party, doing something that's going to bring income into your pocket to invest in a transition kit that will be anywhere from $75 to $100, whatever that may be. Now, if you have the inventory, pay attention to Jessica's training on Sunday, and I'll get a graphic up of that of time, information. But pay attention because she's going to help share with you how to do a live sale to turn things over fast, to give yourself that dispensable income to be able to reinvest in yourself, you guys. Gretchen said it's $85. I didn't know if we could say that or not, but Gretchen said it. I'll go with her and I will team it with her. If we get in trouble, we'll get in trouble together. $85. You need $85 for your transition kit. Plan your work your plan. So I have those things down. Okay, so inventory of your products, turn those over for your transition kits. We're helping you do that with ideas from Jessica Stonebreaker, who will be Sunday training us on her live sales. Other things that we have going on, we have the push for $500 for free catalogs. So that means I said it too now, Gretchen, so we're in the same boat now, okay? Who knows? There's so much information. I'm gonna take it with the team. Take it with the team. It's called the Bad Moms, right? Free catalogs, $500 in PV. No, don't blame it on anyone. I'll take it. $500 in PV gives you free catalogs. So those free catalogs will be put in your redemption tab and you'll be able to redeem them in February. Now, $500 does so much more because you're on our team. $500 allows you to get into our snowflake shuffle, okay? 2 entries, okay? So in our snowflake shuffle, and I gotta catch up, you get a snowflake for $350, a snowflake for $500, then it goes $1,000, $1,500, $2,000, so on and so forth. If you get a new team member, you get 2 snowflakes. So you should be filling this out as an extra entry into winning some fun products, portal items from me, okay? Last month I did, FedEx. Last month I did the featured product of the month. I bought each person that featured product of the month so that they could be ahead of the game in January. We will see what I choose to do for this. But this is open to everybody, you guys. Whether you are in my first line or you are in my 10th line. This is open for everyone. You just got to print this off and fill it out. Now, we also have our huge goal of our $60 million push. You guys, this is big. This is really big. And it's not about just Posh. It's not about like my team, my 7 lines. This is about all of us working together to achieve this goal. Each of our teams has put in so much hard work to share Posh with people throughout these last 10 years to get us to this point we are right now. And we are very close to pushing towards, not very close, we are working on pushing towards our $60 million goal for hitting it this month. Each day I go in, and this is a good way for you to kind of see what I do on a normal basis. On a normal basis, you guys, I go into my VO every single month, and this will lead into our training. I go into my VO every single day. Okay, I said month, every single day. And when I go into my VO every single day, I'm looking at first what we talked about last month. What's our goal for the month? Okay, as a team, my personal goal, what's your goal for the month? Okay, now each day I go in there and I write down what is my personal volume for so far for the month. Okay, what is our team volume for the month? How many new personal people have I added for the month? And how many personal or team new people have we added for the month? Okay, so I'm keeping track of if we're on pace for our monthly goal, for my personally monthly goal, or if I need to be really paying attention to how am I going to achieve this big picture goal by consistently working throughout the month. No one likes the end of the month push. But if you are proactive and you take the information I'm giving you and you put it into action, you can really make these systems work for you and take that stress away. So in review, last week, we talked about our month in review. Okay, so planning your month. Okay, what's your goal? What's your PV goal? What's your team member goal? We also talked about working in 3-month cycles. Okay, so we're working on the first quarter, which is January, February, and March. So in our calendars, I challenged you to go through and number one, be in control of your calendar. How are you in control of your calendar? You are filling it out ahead of time, which means you're marking in what does your family have going on, right? Where do your kids need to be? Where do you need to be? What are the number one your family have going on? And then you go into what are my non-negotiables? Where do I need to make sure I'm showing up? So for me, for example, if we go back to January, and you're doing this in 3-month cycles. If I go back to January, I haven't finished highlighting, but every Monday at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, I have morning mingle. That's a non-negotiable for me. I have to be here, right? Tuesday at new member Zoom, okay? I have to have it there. The 19th, I am planning on doing a mini training on how to create a Google form, okay? Jessica Stonebreakers live is here. So I am putting these things down and putting them in my calendar, okay? So family, non-negotiables, that can be trainings, I would say parties you already have booked would be non-negotiables. You want to put those in there and have those written down. And then the third thing for the monthly view is being proactive and being in control of your calendar, okay? How do you do that? You need to look at your calendar after you have those things filled out for January, February, and March. And you need to mark the days that are best suited for you to book parties, okay? I love Thursday nights. Why do I love Thursday nights? Because in my family schedule, that's the one night I'm not running kids to practices. It's the one night that I feel that I can schedule those live parties and it works in our family schedule without being stressful. I also love Thursday nights because the next day's Friday and everybody loves Fridays, or they only have to make it through one more day of work. So they're more apt to join me on a live. I'm not taking their weekend away. I'm not taking their Friday night away, but they'll join me for Thursday night bingo, Thursday night connection, and then just have one day left of work. So that's what I do, you guys. So January, February, and March, Thursdays are always my booking days. Those are the days that I'm going to book my parties, okay? And actually, I'm actually getting into April. But how this works, again, go back and watch the monthly trainings and how to work in 3-month cycles, how to front load your calendar. But as January comes to a close, then I work April. So then I'm going February, March, and April. I'm still working in that 3-month cycle. I'm being proactive with my business. I'm in control of my calendar, and it makes you feel so much more empowered and confident in what you're doing, okay? So we talked about that. Now, today, I want to jump into, let me find my notes here. I want to talk a little bit about weekly focuses. And I did share with you guys this morning. Here, I'll show it to you plain before I show it to you marked up. This is an action sheet. And just depending on if you're full-time, part-time, or a hobby, you could print this off for every single day, okay? If you wanted to, if this helps you stay on track, you can print this out for every single day and start your day with action items, okay? Now, if you're part-time and you know that you schedule your work time in for 3 times a week, maybe you have 3 days you want to have this. But this is a great sheet to kind of get yourself focused on daily activities. And I'll talk about that a little bit more. But when we look at our calendar and we start with that big picture, January, okay, your goal for January is, let's make this doable. My big goal for January was $1,000 PV, okay? So, in order to hit that $1,000, I need to break that down into weekly goals, okay? So, for those of you, so typically there's 4 weeks in a month, right? And just depending on your goal, you're going to put your goal in $1,000. And I'm being very basic, you guys. $1,000, and I'm going to divide that by 4. That's $250. So that means to stay on track for my big goal, each week I need to evaluate, am I on track? Okay? So the first week of January, which I would consider January 2nd, which is Sunday, through the 8th, which is Saturday, I needed $250 in. Now, if I'm midweek and I don't have that $250, am I doing activities that help me bring that money in? Now, it's not, you're not always on track. I think it's Gretchen. Gretchen, I should have you do a training on this. Gretchen does $100 a day goal. So that means every single day, her goal, big picture, her goal is to bring in $100. Now, for me, that may not pan out every single day. But if I look at a week in a glance, that $100 a day breaks my big goal down into weekly goals. So for Gretchen, let's say for January, if she did $100 a day, that means she would have $3,000 in PV. Okay? So if she's on day 6 and she doesn't have $600 in PV, she needs to be evaluating, what am I needing to do? Do I need to get another party in? Do I need to do some customer follow-up? This is how you stay on track, okay? So that's taking that big goal, your PV goal, and let me know if you have questions, guys. Yeah. Make it customizable to you. $25 a day, $35 a day. Yes. It's the same thing on if you're full-time, part-time, or just social. Your goals are going to be different. That doesn't make those goals not good. Those goals are your goals. And you can break those down into doable, manageable things manageable for you, right? So like Gretchen said, she's been here a long time. She has a big customer base. Her PV focus is higher. But if your same thing as weekly, okay, your weekly goal is $1,000. Your monthly goal is $1,000, and there's 30 days in a month. Words are hard. That's about $33 a day on average, okay, to hit your goal. And when you're going in and you're keeping track of your daily work, do you see how those small little goals, those small little things, those small little accountability things get you it makes you more relaxed working your business. Does it make you a stress cadet? Because you know you have these goals and you're working on them weekly and daily. Now, what I want to do with you is first show you how I have taken my monthly focus and we've broken it down into weeks. And then in my weekly focus, we've broken it down into themes, okay? Is this everybody understanding this so far? I don't want to lose anybody on this, okay? So when I look at my monthly focus, our team of leaders break the month into 4 weeks, okay? So we know as leaders, the first week of the month, we want everybody to be focused on what are your goals, okay? What do I need to focus on this month? That's a lot of what we do in Morning Mingle. We focus on what things are going on for the week. What do we need to be paying attention to? What kind of goals are we working towards? So the first week of the month may be really getting those goals in place and what actions you're going to have in that month to hit your goals. Week 2, so now we're breaking it down into week 2. Week 2, focus on recruiting, team building. This is a great time to be sharing what Posh has done for you. So a lot of times we'll incorporate team building into week 2. Week 3, we're front loading and booking focus. So it's a little bit kind of like, depends on the week. But if you look at like January, this is our goal week. So we talk a little bit about recruiting here. By this week, you want to be front loading your February calendar. Now, if you have not watched my other training, front loading means that in this week, I want to make sure that I'm securing my paycheck or I'm securing what my goal is by front loading my February calendar. Okay, so it works very cyclically. Okay, so on the 3rd week of the month, here, we are front loading our February, okay? And then the last week of the month, we are finishing up. Not in a hurried, crazy chaos manner. We are finishing our month up because we've planned our work and worked our plan. We're finishing our month up. We're tidying up goals. We're finishing up those goals. We're closing out parties. We're helping hostesses redeem all of their rewards. This is the time where you finish securing your month, not so you're burnt out at the beginning of next month, but that you feel good about the plan and what you did. You can conquer your goals. You've worked on them throughout the month, that you're ready to go into February on day 1 feeling good about your business that you're in control of instead of it being in control of you. The worst feeling is the last 2 days of the month having to be, I always call it, what would be, not needy, what's the word? Can't think of the word. Words are hard. At the end of the month, you start to act, what's the word? Desperate. Desperate would be a word. Desperate for sales. And then you turn into that salesy person, okay? And instead of turning into that salesy person, when you're in control of your month and in your weeks and you're working it within your scheduled time, you will not be that needy person at the end of the month going nuts because you need to get this much more in sales in. You've done it all month long. You've been keeping track. You're consistent with what you're doing. Okay? So many of you probably are asking yourself, okay, this sounds great, Shalene. I can take my month and I can break it down and I can highlight it. But really, when I'm looking at a weekly focus, how do I touch my business every day? Okay. Now, touching your business every day can be different for everybody. And again, it's towards your goals. It's towards what you are looking for out of your Posh business. And no one can decide that for you. That is your decision and the effort in which you want to put in, right? Put in more quality effort on business building tasks and you will see better results, right? So when we're looking at weekly focuses, some things that you can use in your planner to help you is things like the action sheet that keep you focused on things each and every day. Okay. So in the action sheet that I uploaded every single day, that you're working your business, you could print this off and it says, at the top, it says the 5 most important things for me to do this week. It could be daily, it could be weekly. Okay, five most important things for me to do this week. And then out of those 5, what I typically do is the top 3 are my most important. And number 4 and 5 are usually things I would love to get done, but don't have to be done this week and can move to the top of my priorities next week to be finished, okay? So the top 5 things I want to do or accomplish this week, out of those 5, the top 3 need to be completed this week. And then those 2 extras are ones that ideally I'd love to get done this week, but if I don't get done this week, they move to the top of my list next week, okay? Customer follow-ups and calls. We are going to talk more about this next week when we get into consistency and daily connections, okay? Because we're going to talk about our 5x5 goals. We're going to talk about some tracking sheets. But this is a great one if you want to keep it weekly or daily. Customer follow-up calls. You can write them in there. Potential team members and notes. Now, if you've been here a while and you've worked with Pat, you know Pat works with funnels. Funnels meaning you have a customer funnel, you have a hostess funnel, and you have a new team member funnel. This is just breaking this down a little bit smaller where you're looking at, what samples did I give out this week that I need to follow up with customers. If you don't write it down, I'm guessing you'll forget, okay? You have to have a system to help you remember. It could be a customer management system. It can be writing it down. I'm teaching basics, guys. Basics takes nothing but a note. It could be a notebook and a pen. It doesn't have to be anything else. You just have to start with the basic thing, okay? So, customer follow-ups, following up on samples, someone that you talk to about Posh, that's there. Potential team members, these are people that maybe have found interest or asked questions about your business or you would think would be great doing Posh and you know them and they have great things that would make them a great Posh consultant. So your potential team member notes. Posh on the people, getting your samples on people. How many people are you getting samples on per week? And then team business to-dos. So like for this week for me, my team business to-dos is morning mingle. I have my Tuesday Zoom, right? I have my volume ledger pull. When we hit our goal, I'll pull a winner out. I have my daily actions that I want to keep you guys up to date on where we're at on our goals. So I have my business to-dos for the week, okay? I have my personal to-dos and I have my team business to-dos. So an action sheet like this can be used daily or weekly, okay? So you decide how it's best works into your business, okay? Um, sorry, I'm still battling this cold. Now, before we go away from weekly, I want to share something with you that has really helped me feel good about my plan for the week. And I've talked to several of my newer team members about this because they get very overwhelmed with what do I post? What do I do? And when you look at your week, it's okay to schedule things out ahead of time. I do that. I do that all the time. And I can do that because I know what my weekly topics are or my daily topics are within that week. And what I can share with you guys is this sheet right here. And it's called the weekly focus. And I look at my week, Monday through Sunday, and you can theme it. You can theme your days. So you know every day what your theme is. So for example, maybe Mondays for you, and I do this in the action calendar for you, kind of in the action calendar here. I focus every Monday is morning mingle at 9 a.m. 2 to 3 must-dos for the week, and mail out Monday. So maybe Monday is your mail out Monday, that you're sending your thank you cards out, you're sending any products out that over the weekend maybe you sold, okay? So Monday is mail out Monday, or it could be whatever theme you want it to be. You are in control of your calendar. Tuesday, okay? When you look at Tuesday, some people do Tip Tuesday. Tip Tuesday could be giving little tips on anything that adds value. It doesn't have to be posh. Maybe you're very good at health and wellness and you want to give some tips for the new year, setting a habit, anything like that. But you know that Tuesday is Tip Tuesday, so you can plan your week. On Tuesday, you want to add value with a tip. It could be Training Tuesday. Maybe it's Training Tuesday and you train on an ingredient or you train on some information. This is where you sit down and you set your goals for your week as a theme, right? So Tuesday can be Tip Tuesday, train your brain. It could be Touch Tuesday, where you use it to connect with team members, 2 to 3 team members, and each rank. You decide, depending on what your business goals are, what Tuesday is to you. Monday, mail out Monday, set your goals. Tuesdays, Tip Tuesday, train your brain, or Touch Tuesday. I love theming them that way because it helps me remember and stay consistent. Wednesday can be Work It Wednesday. One thing that you can do today to move your business forward. So on Wednesday, Work It Wednesday is making sure that day is themed around something that's going to move your business forward, meaning booking a party could be Work It Wednesday. Doing your follow-ups if you want to, if that's part of moving your business forward. Doing a live. I know several people do What's in It Wednesday, where they talk about an ingredient live on their VIP page. This is where you set your plan, you guys, and then you follow through with your plan. Big plan monthly. We're breaking it down into weekly and daily plans, okay? Wednesday can also be Wow Wednesday, where you're doing shout outs and thank yous and recognition. We do mini training on the third Wednesday of every month. So that's something that's consistently in my calendar every single month on the third Wednesday. Thursday, things to think about for Thursday. Again, Thursday's my party day. So that's typically the day that I schedule into my calendar to have my live parties, my bingo parties. But you could do Thrifty Thursday, where you talk about things that I've talked about for Thrifty Thursday is cutting up bar soaps, how to heat them and cut them up so that they can use them for a longer period of time. They can put them in different bathrooms. If they have kids, they can give their kids their own piece. So Thrifty Thursday could be themed on something like that. And every week on Thursday, you do a Thrifty Thursday post, okay? Friday, is that, okay, yeah. So Friday is Fun Friday, okay? So Fun Friday could be giveaways, it could be trivia, it could be engagement posts, interaction, it could be follow-up Friday. We talk about that a lot. Shanae, one of my co-partners that I work with, she calls it FU Friday. And I've kind of gotten to the point in my business that now that sticks in my head. I'm at Friday and I'm like, yeah, it's FU Friday. It's follow-up Friday. And I go into my business management system and I go through my follow-ups. I look at my action sheet for the week and what do I need to follow up on? What have I done? Who do I need to talk to? Who do I need to connect to? So Friday is follow-up Friday, Fun Day Friday, Fact Friday, engagement, interaction, things like that. So you see how when you theme these things, it helps you produce quality content, okay? Quality content that adds value. And when you add value and you educate and you make it fun and sociable, you don't have to sell anything, you guys. You're just generally working your business and things will fall into place. Now, Saturday, I love, like for you guys, you'll probably notice I do this here in Posh Crew. Saturday and Sunday, I'm in charge of our action items for the day. And Saturday, I usually do Success Saturday. And I run down the things that you need to be aware of, things that you can be doing for the weekend, things like that. So if you look on Saturday, I usually have Success Saturday, okay? Sunday is Self-Care Sunday. And I can follow this through on my VIP group. I can follow this through my business page. Show me what you're doing for Self-Care Sunday. Post a picture of yourself with your facial masks on, or you're getting your bathtub ready for Self-Care Sunday. It is also, if you look at our post on Sunday, it is also the day to plan your work and work your plan. You're looking at your week and you're getting ready for your next week. So that means if you work full time and you don't have a lot of time to work your business on a daily basis, you're getting your post planned out according to the themes of your day for the week. Simple, easy, consistent, and present on a daily basis. Does it take a little bit of planning? Yes. At first, probably going to take you a little more time, but as you get into the groove of it, it becomes almost automatic that you're able to plan this and schedule it into your day, whether it's planning it on Sunday, planning it the night before, or maybe in the morning planning what you're going to do. But this is the way you take that big focus of the month and you break it down into weekly themes, daily themes to fit your business goals, okay? And I can post this. This has other things in it that are more team driven. But just if you look at it, it's exactly what I talked to you guys just about. Monday, Tuesday, Tip Tuesday, Wednesday, Work It Wednesday, Thursday's my party day, Friday's Fun Friday, trivia, engagement, Saturday, connections, who can I share Posh with while I'm out and about, Sunday, self-care Sunday, plan your work for the week. So I can screenshot this and share this with you. And your goal is to, how much time do I have to invest in my business in a week? And what days can I best plan this out, whether it's scheduling posts. And if you're scheduling posts, how do I want to theme these? Do I want theme days? Do I want to talk about the feature of the week, like our social media calendar? So again, I'm going to go back to Kim's social media calendar. You can theme this way, you guys. You could schedule your posts for the week, add value, create fun by scheduling your social media out according to what Kim has put in our social media calendar. She has Fun Fact Friday here. Look at that. Share your posh life here. It goes right along with our action calendars. So really, you guys, there's no magic to this. There is no magic. It is just planning your work with the time you have available. Taking your big goals, breaking them down into smaller weekly and daily goals, and being consistent with what you're doing. Being present and consistent. Now, next week, what we are going to talk about, I'm going to give you a challenge, but where's my action calendar? I had it out. Here it is. So on the action calendar, next Monday, it's going to be talking about consistency and connection. So I'm going to be kind of sharing with you more on this 5x5 tracker, how this can help you be consistent with your connections and what you're doing in your business, okay? There's also a great tracking sheet that you can use. So if you don't use your funnels, or if you don't have a way to track, this is a great way to get started back to the basics on tracking things. And then I'm also going to share with you guys this social media planner. And I will share with you how I use this, how you can use this, and you can make Posh fit into your life, whether it's 1 hour a day, 5 hours a week, whatever it may be. You can plan your work and work your plan, and this can fit in anybody's busy schedule. It doesn't have to take a long time. So that will be next Monday, where we will kind of finish up these things on the basics of calendar planning, working our weekly plan, and the actions. And then the following Friday, we're going to be prepping for our new catalog launch, okay? So what I would love for you guys to do is, before next week, take some time, sit down, and share with us what kind of themes, what kind of ideas you have for your weekly focus. Are you going to do a daily focus? Do you like the theme days? Or what are you going to have for your theme days so that you can stay consistent with that? Do you like the social media, where you're going to focus on, your goal is to be more present with your social media in 2022? So you're going to really focus on having themed things for your week. You're going to schedule posts on Sunday, and these are the schedules that you're going to have for the week. So I would love to see those. I'd love to see you guys sharing ideas on here. That's what makes this place amazing, because we all have value to add. No matter where you are in life, you have value, and your value can add value to someone else. So I want to have you, I'll post this, and I'll have you share your ideas under that. Let me see question-wise. If you got to jump off, jump off. Good, Cynthia. Cynthia said, I love it. This will really help me stay focused and motivated. Now, motivation is fleeting, so having those goals and those small things, yes, that's so good. Anna, I actually finally did last night in my group. It felt wonderful. So, Anna had a new baby, so she's been getting back into the routine of consistency with the new baby. So her time is a little different scheduled than other people's. So again, any of this can work into your life and what your goals are with Posh. Let me see. Lori, do you have papers of what we do weekly for ideas? Lori, so if you are talking about this weekly focus one, I will share that with you. We also have the action calendars and the social media calendars that are done every month. They're in the Spark page and they are in the quick references. And really, you guys, we came up with action calendars and social media calendars to help you be able to plan easily for your week, right? You can look at those and find business building activities that you can do in your action calendar, social media consistency that you can plan for in your social media calendar. So we really have tried to support you in creating this system. And Gretchen, yes, I will talk with Gretchen. She can talk about her goals, how she sets her goals up. I know she's done several trainings on that, but that's also a very good information if you are more driven on a certain dollar amount and things like that. So I can talk to Gretchen about that. Kim, and for most people, Friday is payday. So money to buy Posh, right? For sure. So typically, yeah, I'll do my bingo lives on Thursday. And then I will, on Friday, I will do like on Friday with my parties on Thursday. Then on Friday, I'll do like recap, talk about hosting, things like that. But I'll give them Friday, Saturday, and Sunday to place their order. And like Kim said, if they get paid on Friday, they have Friday, Saturday, and the closing of the party on Sunday to get their orders in. So yeah, I love Thursday party day. Thursday party day. All right, I don't see any more questions. If you have them, you guys, please put them in the comment section. Gretchen says habits and systems stay in place when motivation walks out the damn door. Is that not the truth? It's not. That is so the truth, girlfriend. Spot on there, girlfriend. All right. Any other questions? You can take that wonderful saying from Gretchen as you go into this week, and I will repeat it. Gretchen says, habits and systems stay in place when motivation walks out the damn door. Amen, sister. You guys have a great Monday, and I will see you over on the crew page. I'll get the weekly focus up, and please continue to ask questions. And thank you. Thank you for being here today. I look forward to seeing you rock it out this week.